Watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman. Texas Democrats have made headline the last few weeks holding out from a vote that would change political districts in the state. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting explores a local angle on this situation. Trenton.
Thank you, Amaya. Texas Democrats broke quorum to slow down a proposed congressional map that would potentially add 5 Republican seats. Prominent Democrats like California Governor Gavin Newsom and even former President Barack Obama spoke in favor of their actions, while current President Trump praised Texas Republicans for pushing this new map, calling it, quote, a huge victory on social media. Local Republicans are calling the move gutsy, as state GOP members prepare to combat what Victoria County Republican Chair Bill Posey says will be an energized Democrat Party.
Somebody's paying you due to a job. Why not do it, right? Even under protest. I protest, but don't leave the state. But that's just my personal opinion. And I think they'll go back and, go rekindle whatever they got going and be a very viable force. So we're out there every day trying to make progress in the Republican Party because we know it's coming from the Democrats.
Posey says the new map pushed forward in both the Texas House and Senate fairly quickly, but that it's still up to voters in these new districts to determine if those seats will truly turn red. Now, reports say Texas Democrats could challenge this new map in court. And tomorrow, we'll speak with Victoria County Democratic Chair Jewel Buchanan for a local perspective on this saga from the other side of the aisle. You can catch that report of the conversation on 25 News Now in the evening. Maya, back to you.
Now, since this is a popular topic now, how much influence do you think congressional maps have on election? A lot, some influence, or not at all? And so far, people are still voting. We're at 39%, a lot, 56%, some influence, and at 5%, not at all. But we will still love to hear from you on this big, important matter. Just go over to our website at crossroadstoday.com/vote, or you can scan that QR code right there to take part. And we will have the latest here on 25 News Now at 10. In Missouri, at least 2 people were killed in multiple shootings in downtown Kansas City. Officers responded to a report of multiple shootings around 3:30 early Sunday morning. When crews arrived, they found 5 gunshot victims. One male victim was pronounced dead on the scene. A second male victim later died from his injuries at a nearby hospital. There are no reports of suspect or any arrest. The picket fire continues to burn in California, Napa County. The blaze started near Calistoga on Thursday and grew by over 1,800 acres on Saturday to over 68 acres. CAL FIRE said that containment is up from 7% to 11%. Additionally, damage assessments ongoing, and there has been a confirmation of damage or destroyed structures. Evacuation orders are in place for areas around the fire, and over 1,200 personnel are working to fight the blaze. Now let's go to Trey Mining with the first look at our forecast. Trey, how is Victoria looking? It's very hot over here, so give us any update on how this week is going to be looking.
Definitely the heat's going to be staying with us, and a few rain showers in the mix as well. Increasing rain showers in time, more on that a little bit later on in the full forecast. But for now, let's take a look at the radar. Some pretty good thunderstorm rolling along US 59 from Louise near Bay City, moving to the south and southeast. Maybe making it to Vanderbilt, Edna or so before they begin to die out as we lose the daytime heat a little bit later on in the evening time. So watch out if you're out and about, of course. Let's take a look at the current temperature if we can. Under a few clouds out there in Victoria. And the current temperature 93 degrees. There we go. With a feel like temperature near 100 degrees currently on the outside. Southerly winds near 14, 15 miles per hour. Humidity a little bit lower because a little bit of the dry air is worked on through. But that won't be staying around too long. Rain chances on the rise this week. What days we have the best rain chances? I'll let you know coming up later on in the full forecast to come. Amaya?
Thank you, Trey. We're learning more details about the victims who were killed in a bus crash in upstate New York Friday. Among them is a 22-year-old Columbia University student. Dozens of others were injured. Jen Sullivan has details on what we know about the victims and the latest on the investigation.
Investigators are trying to figure out what caused a deadly bus crash in upstate New York Friday.
We were lucky. We survived, but it's just
awful.
This is drone video of the bus after it flipped over, killing 5 people and injuring dozens of others.
Multiple occupants were ejected from the motor coach.
The crash happened just before 12:30 Friday afternoon in the town of Pembroke, east of Buffalo. The bus was full of tourists heading back to New York City after visiting Niagara Falls. 54 people were on board, including the driver and a tour company employee.
We have a tour bus with 52 passengers, mostly foreign speaking. We have people ejected and people possibly under the bus at this point.
Multiple agencies responded to the scene. Dozens of passengers rushed to the hospital with varying degrees of injuries.
This is probably the most trauma patients we've had from one incident in my career here in Buffalo.
Those killed were between 22 and 65 years old. The 22-year-old was a Chinese student attending Columbia University. A spokesperson for the university saying, quote, "This heartbreaking loss is felt deeply across our community." The community of Pembroke holding a vigil Saturday to honor those 5 victims. It's still unclear what exactly caused the crash, but law enforcement believe the driver likely became distracted.
It's believed the operator became distracted, lost control, overcorrected.
Authorities say it's too early to determine if charges will be filed. In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Now, over 20 people were injured after a school bus crashed in Pennsylvania, Beaver County yesterday. First responders were called to the scene at around 10 a.m. On board the bus was the Aliquippa Junior High School football team heading to a game in Pine Richland. Of the 25 players, 2 coaches and a bus driver. 21 people were taken to the hospital or a trauma center. The school district said 1 student was in critical condition and undergoing surgery. The cause of the crash is under investigation. The Powerball jackpot has jumped to a staggering $750 million, the 10th largest in the game's history. No ticket matched the winning number in Saturday's drawing. That means what was already the biggest pot of the year would get even bigger. The next drawing is set for Monday. If there's a winner, they will have the choice between a $750 million prize or a lump sum payment, estimate at about $338 million before taxes. East Texas lawmakers with Governor blessings wants to stop proposed water deal. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit our website at crossroadstoday.com. And drivers in Victoria County will need to plan for a temporary road closure next week. Beginning Monday, crews will close the section of Northside Road between Tate Road and Ball Airport Road. The road will be shut down all through traffic from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day, while crews replace pipes and make drainage improvements in preparations for future reconstructions. Officials say the road will reopen outside of closure hours, and work is expected to wrap up by Thursday, August 28th. And if you are called for jury duty in Victoria County next week, you can stay home. County officials announced that the jury summon for Monday at 8:30 a.m. has been canceled. The session was scheduled at the Victoria County Courthouse, but officials say it will not be rescheduled. And the Victoria County Commissioner Court will meet Monday as well at 10 a.m. at 115 North Bridge Street in room 241. On the agenda, commissioners will review the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service Healthy South Texas program, discuss House Bill 1522, and consider a memorandum of understanding between the county and the Victoria Masters Garden Association, and more important items. And for more on today's news story, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrade and Parker Cox will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them. After a deployment, officers in California and D.C., President Trump now says he's ready to send the National Guard to Baltimore. Details next.
Take a review of your Sunday. 97 degrees, official high. Hot day today, no doubt about it. Low 72, above normal on our high and below normal on our low because a little bit of drier air in the atmosphere currently. Rainfall in the negative for August, so we need some there. Above normal for the year so far. More rain headed our way. That's true. We'll take a look at that coming up in your forecast.
First, it was California, then Washington, D.C., now Chicago and Baltimore. President Trump is offering to send members of the National Guard to Maryland, largest city, in response to the governor's invitations to attend a public safety event there next month. Jay Aubrey has more from the White House.
Tonight, President Trump threatening to expand his National Guard surge in Washington, D.C. to include other Democratic-run cities like Baltimore. In a post on social media, Trump, writing Maryland Governor Wes Moore, asked that I walk the streets of Maryland with him. If Wes Moore needs help, I will send the troops, which is being done in nearby D.C., and quickly clean up the crime. Governor Moore previously hailing Baltimore's recent decline in violent crime and telling Trump to keep the city's name, quote, out of your mouth. And responding to the president on CBS's Face the Nation.
The reason that I've asked the president to come and join us is because he seems to enjoy living in this blissful ignorance, these tropes and these 1980 scare tactics.
Days before, touting his surge of federal law enforcement and mobilization of nearly 2,000 National Guard troops to Washington, D.C., Trump promising Chicago would be next.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough.
But Chicago police data showing violent crime in the Windy City is down compared to this time last year. At a block party Saturday, Mayor Brandon Johnson responding.
What's being painted by the federal government is false. We love one another. We support one another. We put our arms around one another. We invest in one another because we know that we are our best keepers of one another.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker also pushing back, saying there is no emergency in his state that warrants Trump's federalization of the Illinois National Guard or deployment of active duty troops. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, the White House.
An unnamed SpaceX rocket is heading to the International Space Station this morning, bringing much-needed supplies. The Falcon 9 rocket lifted off from Cape Canaveral just before 3 a.m. It's part of a SpaceX 33rd mission for NASA's commercial resupply program. The rocket carries about 5,000 pounds of food and equipment for the 9 astronauts on board the station. Less than 10 minutes after liftoff, the first stage returned to Earth, landing safely on SpaceX drone ship, a shortfall of gravity. The Dragon capsule is scheduled to dock with the space station tomorrow morning. And protesters are taking to the streets outside of a nightclub, fighting to restore what they call a symbol of remembrance. Here are the details.
In the shadow of the Pulse nightclub, protesters are refusing to let what they say is a symbol of love and remembrance be erased.
We're here, and we're not going away.
I put a little bit of color on each one of the stripes.
Protesters came to this crosswalk outside of Pulse on Friday and Saturday to restore the colors with paint and chalk. Some made the drive from Cocoa Beach and Polk County.
I've got kids that are in the rainbow, and so I'm here for them, here for other people, here for what happened.
Just a block away from Pulse, we saw FDOT crews painting over the artwork overnight at the Soto crosswalk, reflecting the neighborhood theme.
Things that are actually important rather than showing up in the middle of the night to paint over a sidewalk. It just seems like cowardice.
FDOT says the Rainbow Crosswalk, along with more than a dozen others across Orlando, is not in compliance with state regulations. The original rainbow was installed after the attack at the nightclub that killed 49 people. The city of Orlando says it followed all safety rules and was actually installed by the state. In a letter from FDOT to the city of Orlando, it lists 18 different locations that are not compliant. The Pulse crosswalk and the one just painted over in Soto were not listed.
Protesters say they will continue to fill this crosswalk in with color. As for the city, they say they are still looking for explanation from FDOT why they decided to fill this in the middle of the night with no explanation.
Love is love.
The city of Orlando has until September 4th to bring the crosswalks into compliance. Covering Orange County in Orlando, Spencer Tracy, WESH 2 News.
More than 20,000 cans of 7-Up are being pulled from shelves. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says the 7-Up is being recalled over a labeling issue. The agency says cans labeled 0 sugar were found to mistakenly contain a full sugar product. The FDA says a Birmingham, Alabama-based bottler issued the recall for nearly 2,000 cases of 7-Up 0 sugar tropical soda on July 31st. The notice says the soda was distributed in Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Take a look at our radar. Currently, we have a line of some small rain showers and thunderstorms, producing some locally heavy rainfall from about Louise area in the western parts of Wharton County, about to move into Jackson County. Might make it into Victoria County, maybe. We'll see if it does. As we begin to lose daytime heat, some energy will be zapped on that. But keep that in mind coming on through. More rainfall headed our way. Starting off slowly, then the rain chance increasing next week. What days, though, exactly? Take a look coming up in your forecast. Good afternoon, everyone. Watching some thunderstorms currently in Wharton County near Louise, but moving to Jackson County. Here's the projection. They're beginning to lose their energy as it's beginning to lose the daytime heat. The sun beginning to go down. So it might make it to Edna area, Vanderbilt, maybe in Victoria County. We'll see if it makes it that way, makes it all the way through or not because of the daytime heating loss. But just keep that in mind. If it does make it to Victoria County, be very light at best, probably just a little bit of light rain shower with that because they're beginning to see it begin to fade away. Looking at the tropics, pretty good line of rain showers and storms in the northern part of the Gulf. A weak frontal boundary out here causing some lift in the atmosphere. So this is the reason why we're keeping the rain chance at least slightly coming up for your day tomorrow, then increasing the rain chances for midweek. Front comes down from the north, adding to that lift, lifting up that moisture and creating high rain chances coming up for our region here. Temperatures, well, starting off in the 90s or so, hundreds throughout the entire day, and beginning to see a front move through, which would be a pretty significant front for this time of year, not making it all the way into the Crossroads region, though. Getting close to our area, though, creating the lift in the atmosphere we need. Is why we're increasing rain chances somewhat, coming up by about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time frame as we're looking at this time. And then the front will be in the Gulf of Mexico and creating more rain showers again toward the weekend as a weak low pressure area forms along the boundary and gives us a better rain chance at that time. So keep your umbrella handy just in case, and definitely try to stay cool because the heat's not going anywhere anytime soon. I'll look at the rainfall projection of the future tracker here, mainly along the coast to start off tomorrow morning, kind of inching a little bit further inland throughout the day. High pressure to the west staying out there, but the flow around the high is just like this, along that front to come down from the north on the right hand side of the high pressure area, moving to the Crossroads region, giving us better rain chances toward the middle part of the week. So still the rain chances there. He's not going anywhere anytime soon, of course. In Victoria, coming up for tomorrow, plan your Monday, starting off at 6 a.m. in the low 70s, and then 12 noon, well into the 90s, 95, 96 degrees by the afternoon time. Maybe an isolated rain shower storm during the afternoon time. Might be the best chance to see that during about 3 o'clock or so, right around that time, until sunset or around that time as well. Port Lavaca, 6 a.m., 77 degrees or so, wake up time. And then in the 90s by the afternoon time, scattered rain shower storm likely in the area. Kind of hit and miss so far. Most areas remaining dry. Cuero as well, sunny skies to partly cloudy skies, rain chance by 3 o'clock in the afternoon to about 4 or 5 or 6 p.m. Dealing with the rain showers here and there. Kind of not too much so far for your Monday. Increasing on Tuesday and Wednesday, that front gets closer to us. Begins to fade out a little bit, keeping some small chances in for the rest of the week. Revving up again by Saturday and Sunday. So keep the umbrella handy just in case. Try to stay cool. Maybe reaching 100 degrees with a daytime high coming up for your day on Monday. So turn the air conditioners on. Let's try to stay cool. Drink plenty of water. Find some shade. Lows in the 70s. So be weather aware just in case coming up for the next several days and making a great week. Take a look at this right here. How to be connected with us. It's simple to do that. Get your smartphone. Scan the code see there on your screen. That'll take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Free to have it on your phone as well. Be connected with us. And the guy that knows about sports is Mr. Ray Robinson.
Thank you, Trey. This weekend, the volleyball action hit the Crossroads Sports Center with the Victoria Gators hosting their first ever classic, varsity victory, and JV surprises. Coming up, the highlights and more. This weekend of volleyball tournaments was a weekend of firsts as well. The Victoria Gators had their first ever volleyball classic of their own. The excitement of the program's first event did not stop them from competing great. The tournament took place at the Crossroads Sports Center. Victoria's Faith Academy also joined in on the action with the varsity squad facing off against the Gators junior varsity team. And surprisingly, the Gators JV team held their own against the experienced Faith Academy Cougars in a competitive match. However, it was a different story for the Gators varsity team. They claimed victory in the tournament, winning in 2 sets, 25-23 in the first and 25-12 in the second. Huge congratulations to the Victoria Gators on their impressive tournament win. In the recent Bastrop volleyball tournament that saw the West Warriors dominate and take first place, another strong showing came from the Crossroads team was the Industrial Cobras. The Cobras finished second in the silver bracket and placed 6th overall in the competitive field of 32 teams, which is a remarkable achievement. Adding to their success, Cobras player Kylie Swoboda was honored with a spot on the all-tournament team. The St. Joseph Lady Flyers, amongst other local schools from our area, participated in the Schulenburg tournament this past weekend. The Lady Flyers advanced all the way to the championship match. They lost in 2 sets. Their strong advancement showcased their determination and skill throughout the tournament. Several players delivered impressive performances. I'm talking Jordan Johnson. She recorded 9 kills and 7 digs. Julia Harmon contributed 11 assists and 7 digs. Jordy Ybarra made 12 digs, and Maylee Montgomery had 5 digs, 4 kills, and a block. In addition, Jordan Johnson earned a spot on the all-tournament team, a well-deserved honor reflecting her outstanding play. Congratulations. The Shiner Lady Comanches among the competing teams competing in the Schulenburg tournament this past weekend, and after a tough battle against Columbus, they secured a strong 3rd place finish. Hartley Shivik and Paisley Wallace were honored with spots on the all-tournament team for their outstanding performances. And Crossroads, that brings me to your viewer poll. I know you guys probably saw that. We've seen several of our teams dominate and win these tournaments just a few miles outside of our area. The likes of Tidehaven, Cuero. And next week will be Goliath. They will have a volleyball tournament of their own. But I want to ask you guys of the Crossroads, what would you like to see? Would you like to see more local volleyball tournaments hosted in your area? We got yes for absolutely. Maybe depends on the teams and the competition, of course, or no, not really. Make sure you get your votes in before the 10 o'clock newscast. And on to some national sports. The Houston Astros closed out their series against the Baltimore Orioles today. The Astros had the series won, winning the last 3 in a row. So today, the desire to win could have been in question. Baltimore Orioles, on the other hand, came in today's with a fire lit under them. And the defensive side was holding the Astros to only 2 runs today. Orioles gunner Henderson was able to knock down a home run in this game. Baltimore went to win the game. Final score, 3-2. And the Rangers just wrapped up their game a few moments ago against the Cleveland Guardians. And it wasn't a pretty one for Cleveland. The Rangers win it. Final score, 5-0. The Rangers complete the sweep and will take on the Angels tomorrow for their next series. But that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you, Ray. No need to waffle about what to eat. Sunday is National Waffle Day. Find out how this sweet treat dates back to the 14th century. Coming up. Phones and scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can watch us anytime, anywhere, get breaking news alerts, and vote in our viewer polls. Submit news tips and photos, and you will know all about our ongoing contests. And no need to waffle over what to eat when you can just have a waffle. Sunday marks National Waffle Day because it was August 24th, way back in 1869, that the first waffle iron was patented. But the breakfast treat was around 400 of years before that. The first known recipe dates back to the 14th century, is the way he eating a waffle. An anonymous husband in France wrote it out for his wife. In those days, waffle battery included wine. To make a waffle, all you need is a leave batter or a dough or 2 patterns plates to cook it, or hit up your favorite brunch spot. Wow.
Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles, of course.
Really? Waffles, I'll go with waffles.
You going waffles? What you going with?
I'm a pancake guy, man.
Yeah, you stay over there. You're not in this group right here. You know what I also wish they had here?
What?
A Waffle House.
Oh, absolutely.
I wish they had it.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Now,
Now,
brunch spots that have waffles.
They do.
but nothing tops Waffle House. But now Waffle House is really, really cold. So tell us how the weather's going to be looking.
Not cold around here. I tell you what, heat's going to be on and staying in place. Rain chances a little bit this evening as the storm moved in toward Jackson County, and revving up again by midweek as the front comes through the area. And again by the weekend, so you know the drill. High temperatures in the 90s near 100 degrees, lows in the 70s.
Yes, well, thank you for joining us. We hope you be with us for tonight. 25 News Now Weekend at 10. See you.